My name is Kristen and I'm the volunteer program coordinator at the Garfield Park Conservatory. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make hapazomes. Hapazomes are prints of things like leaves or flowers, really any kind of plant material that you make by pounding that plant material onto either fabric or paper. So these hapazomes won't last forever, but they're a really fun way to play with plants and color. So let's get started. So for this project, you're gonna need fabric that you're gonna be making your patterns on, a rubber mallet, a scrap piece of fabric, and your plant material. I'm gonna be using an old t-shirt that I have that has some stains on it so that I can cover up those stains with these prints that we'll be making. But you could also do a small piece of fabric that could be used as a bookmark. You could do these on your pillowcases. There's lots of different possibilities. Just remember that these prints won't last forever, so I wouldn't do this on anything that's really valuable or has sentimental value to you. I'm going to be using a rubber mallet, but if you have a hammer, that works just fine. If you want to make your design symmetrical, you won't need this, but I'm trying to cover up specific stains on my shirt, so I'm going to be using a scrap piece of fabric. And then plant material. You should play with tons of different types of plant material and see what works best for you. Some leaves and some flowers definitely make better prints than other ones. I found pansies work really well, so I'll be using those today. And then finally, make sure whatever you are hammering on is a surface that you are okay hammering on. This is a sturdy table that doesn't get too beaten up. If maybe you don't have any tables that you want to do this on, you could find a big rock outside, a piece of wood, just something that you don't mind if it gets a little dinged up. All right, so I'm going to get started on my project here. So I'm going to take my flowers and place them face down where I want the print to go. So I'm going to put one there. I'm gonna try out a pansy leaf today. I haven't done this before with the leaves, so we'll see how it turns out. Might tuck it under there. You can always layer. Now, if you wanted to do a symmetrical design, I would just fold this right over, but I don't wanna do symmetrical design today, so that's why I'm gonna use this scrap fabric. You can see I've used it for hapazomes before, so you kind of get a sneak peek of what we're doing here. So I am just going to place this right over my pansy, and then I'm going to hammer the pansy into the fabric. The key is you want to hammer it enough so that the color transfers, but not so much that it turns into just like a pile of goo. So we're just going to kind of hammer and check. So you can see as you start to hammer, the color will start to come through onto the cloth that you have on top. So you can kind of see where you're hitting it and where you're not. All right, we're gonna keep going. And I know I've got my leaf over here, so I'm going to do that side. If you are very careful, you can kind of peel back and check and see if it looks like you hammered all the sides. It looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to peel it back. And then we're going to peel this off. And there is our first pansy print and leaf. So we've got our first print. I think the flower turned out really well. I don't love how the leaf turned out. It's not as sharp as I had hoped, but that's okay. I might even try to cover it up a little bit with more flowers. So I'm just gonna continue to place the rest of my flowers around in the design that I want. Like that. And if you have some flowers that maybe aren't, looking their best, you can still use them and try to make prints with them too. This pansy is kind of on the way out, but I think it still has some good color left in it. So once I have these all placed, I am just going to continue to repeat the process we just did of hammering them in. And once I am done, I will show you the end result. All right, so here we've got our final product. So I think all of the pansy prints turned out really nice. I really like how this one was able to cover up the leaf that I wasn't so crazy about. Overall, I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with the final product. So like I was saying earlier, these prints won't last forever, but there are a couple of things that we can do to make them last a little bit longer. The first one is to make sure your clothes or whatever fabric you're using is really clean before you make the prints on it. Even if you got a new shirt, maybe just put it in the wash for one cycle. That will help remove any waxes or oils that might be in your fabric so that our color really sticks to the fabric instead of those waxes and oils. The next thing has to do with kind of aftercare and washing. Before I will ever wash this shirt, I'm gonna steam iron it. I'm probably gonna keep this shirt out of direct sunlight for about a week before I steam iron it. And then once I have to wash it, I'm gonna wash it by hand in cold water with a pH neutral soap. And that's really gonna help extend its life as well. And I'm always gonna try to store this out of direct sunlight because that sunlight can fade and change these colors. If you're someone who is a natural dyer, you can mordant your fabric before you do this, and that will help it stay a little bit longer as well. But overall, they won't be here forever, but I think the prints are a really fun way to update something that you have and enjoy them while they last. So thank you so much for joining me for this project. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'd love to see what you make.